Conversations That Matter with Ellen DeGeneres. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations That Matter. I'm Ellen DeGeneres, and today's episode is one that stayed with me since I first read the story of our guest. Christopher Boom is not your typical teenager. He's a mathematician, a truth seeker, and someone who sees the world in a very unique way. His journey started with a mystery, the death of a neighbor's dog, but it led to something much deeper. Questions about family, love, and what it means to trust someone. He's here with his father, Ed Boone. Christopher, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I don't like new places, but I made a plan. I wrote it down and followed it. That made it okay.
Well, I'm really glad you followed it, and thank you too, Ed.
Thank you, Ellen. It's good to be here.
Christopher, let's start where your book begins. You found Wellington, the dog, dead in your neighbor's yard. And instead of just walking away, you decided to investigate. Why?
Because it was a mystery and I like mysteries. Mysteries have solutions and I like solving problems. Also, Wellington didn't do anything wrong. Someone hurt him. That made me feel sick in my stomach. So I wanted to find out who did it, like Sherlock Holmes.
You're very committed to the truth, aren't you?
Yes, I do not tell lies, ever. A lie is when you say something that happened that didn't happen, or you didn't leave something on purpose. That's confusing. That makes me feel my head's full of white noise. I need things to be true or false, yes or no.
And yet, along the way, you found out some things that weren't true. Things your father had told you.
Yes. Father said mother was dead, but she wasn't dead. She was in London. She wrote me letters, and I found them hidden in a shirt box. I read all of them in one sitting. It made me feel sick, like I couldn't breathe properly. That was the worst decision I've ever made. I didn't lie to hurt him. I just didn't know how to tell him the truth. But that doesn't make it okay. I stopped trusting Father for a long time. I didn't feel safe. That's why I left. I went to London on my own. I never had done that before, but I did it. I had a plan. I brought Toby, my brat.
That's one of the bravest things I've ever heard. Traveling to another city on your own when everything felt broken.
It didn't feel brave. It felt like a math problem. If A equals not safe and B equals safe and B is London, then I had to go to B. That's logic. That's what I understand, not feelings. Feelings are like metaphors. They don't mean what they say.
But you do feel, Christopher, even if you describe it differently.
Yes, I feel fear. I feel calm. I feel angry sometimes. I also feel better when people are honest with me. That's important. Trust is when you know someone who won't lie to you, like how I know 2 + 2 = 4 always.
That's a beautiful way to explain it. Ed, when Christopher left, when he found out the truth, what was it like for you?
It was devastating, but I also knew he was right to leave. I had lied, I broke his trust, and it didn't deserve for him to come back right away. I had to earn that, slowly, step by step, no shortcuts.
Christopher, have you been able to start rebuilding that trust?
Some. I let my father help me with my A-level math revision. I let him help me build a garden. I even let him hold my hand, just for a few seconds. That was hard, but it was progress. And I even got an A. That means I can go to university and become a scientist. I want to be an astronaut or a physicist. Something where there are answers.
So even though there was pain and lies, your story is still moving forward?
Yes. Life is like a long train journey. Sometimes you get off at the wrong stop, sometimes the train breaks down, but you can still reach your destination if you keep moving and don't throw away your timetable.
That's brilliant. So many people listening, kids, adults, they've gone through hard times with their families too. What would you say to them?
Everyone has problems. That's true, but not everyone solves them the same way. My way is logic. I write things down, I make maps, I ask questions. You don't have to understand everything to keep going. You just need to be honest, even if it's hard, especially if it's hard. That's something I learned from him. Honesty isn't always easy, but it's always the start of healing.
You've both taught us so much about family, about forgiveness, about being brave enough to face the truth. Christopher, you said once that if you can do your A levels and write a book, you can do anything. Do you still believe that?
Yes, I can do anything, as long as I have a plan and a backup plan.
That's a pretty good philosophy for life. Christopher, Ed, thank you so much for being here and for trusting us with your story. I think people are going to walk away from this with a little more hope and a little more understanding.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you. I like this interview. I had clear questions and no touching.
That's what I aim for. To all our listeners out there, remember, everyone's navigating something. Be kind, be honest, and keep moving forward. We'll see you next time on Conversations That Matter.